Welcome everyone to our local ambassador information session. So just before we get started, for those of you who have not been introduced to Teens in AI prior to hearing about our IWD campaign, we are a social impact initiative established at the UN AI for Good in Geneva in 2018 as Teens in AI. Prior to that, we were operating as Acorn Aspirations as well as Girls in AI before we changed to Teens in AI, because both girls and boys and all genders deserve to be introduced to tech and and have accessibilities to tech. So in this session, we're going over the key information of our campaign, as well as touching on the responsibilities of a local ambassador, sharing some of the event platforms that we use during the campaign, and then of course we'll have a Q&A at the end. For IWD specifically, we've been running this campaign for its 8th year now, and we've had over 100 dedicated volunteers such as yourself, with many more returning to run and organize campaigns within their various communities, and many returning, demonstrating the strong and lasting partnerships and impact that this campaign has. So we have included the trailer for last year's IWD. Feel free to watch that when you receive a copy of this deck via email. Our passion here at Teens in AI lies in our vision and mission. Our vision is that we believe in harnessing technology to create a fair world where everyone has equal opportunities to maximize their potential. We inspire students aged 12 to 18 to explore a future in tech and AI through project-based learning, hands-on learning experiences. As you know, we also have courses and action forums. We're quite busy here at Teens in AI. But of course, this is our flagship campaign. Oh, apologies, our why. I did touch on our why just now. But this is our flagship campaign, and it really encapsulates what our mission and our vision is. So, as you know, in our flagship programs, such as the Incubator and IWD, we have project-based learning methods, which usually touch on our UN Sustainable Development Goals. So each of our campaigns have their own SDGs that they follow. For the purposes of International Women's Day Global Techathon, we will be focusing on these three SDGs: good health and well-being, quality education, and gender equality. You'll see this through some of the challenges the students will be partaking in, as well as during our Inspiration Week, also just tying in the theme of IWD, which for 2025 is to accelerate action. And that is our goal with this flagship program. In some exciting news, our outreach campaign for IWD didn't start too long ago, but so far we've actually gotten interest from over 26 countries. So thank you so much for not only believing in our mission, but taking the step to helping us achieve that mission and doing the same for your own communities as well. We are absolutely grateful for those local ambassadors on the call doing this again. Thank you so much for believing in what we do and for constantly wanting to make changes to the world around you. We literally would not be able to do this without you. During the IWD campaign, from February until April, there are quite a few steps in our journey. For you as the local ambassador, you are currently here at the welcome session. After this information session, you will receive your local ambassador agreement. You'll be given the opportunity to share your co-ambassador or co-organizer's details with us if you haven't already. And then you'll be onboarded onto our platforms, which we will discuss later on in the call. We will also have check-in sessions or asking anything sessions. So previously, we actually scheduled these sessions to take place every 2 weeks. But because we are constantly on our communication platform, Discord, we will be pre-recording the 2-week deliverables, and then we'll have a dedicated channel where we'll chat with all the different local ambassadors who can ask their questions. Of course, we also have email that you can contact us on. The next few steps in our roadmap, I'm going to touch on in our next slide. Kicking off our key events for IWD is our Inspiration Week, marked by the Observance Day, the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, which takes place on the 11th of February. Inspiration Week is from the 10th to the 14th of February, and it's a week where we have inspirational talks by industry experts, and we also touch on inspiration for teens hoping to have a future in tech. So it's a really lovely opportunity, not only for your students who are joining, but also for yourselves as the local ambassadors. The following week, we have Boot Camp Week, which is where we have our workshops and masterclasses, equipping our students with the skills and knowledge they'll be applying during the Techathons. These range from an introduction to AI ethics, to things like computer vision. You are the local ambassadors. You will receive that information prior to your students, and you will disseminate it to your teens. And then, of course, we have our global Techathons. If you've joined us in the past, you'd know that we used to organize on weekends, on a Saturday and a Sunday. We find that people are busy and life happens. So we decided, you know what, let's just bookmark the month of March for Techathons. And you can run your Techathon throughout the duration that we've supplied to join. That means you can run your 2-day Techathon, or it can be a 5-day Techathon, depending on what the needs or how many students you have. I do appreciate that some of you have already supplied your Techathon dates. Thank you so much. It helps us internally as well, just to help you plan. After we have our global Techathons, you will then submit your first place winning project to us for virtual judging. All the different first place projects from all the different Techathons around the world will be taking place. And then the top 10 will be invited to the global demo day. We have a virtual panel with industry leaders from our corporate partners, our mentors joining, to you as the local ambassadors to ask thought-provoking questions. The virtual panel will be themed after the IWD theme of accelerating action. All right, welcome, Elena. On the next few slides, we go more in depth with what to expect during Inspiration Week. You'll see that we had amazing speakers last year, such as Helen Baker, the Global Director of Diversity, Equity and Inclusion at SAGE. We had Deuho, the Creative Director at Paramount Pictures Africa, as well as the Head of Robotics at the National Robotarium, Ingo Keller. That's the caliber of speakers that we invite to join our IWD events. The same can be said for our Bootcamp Week, where we had Itraf, who has organized multiple Techathons. She did a workshop on computer vision. We had our alumni, Luca, who is now an application developer and designer at Monster Energy, Jennifer Glinsky, who is a huge champion of teens in AI, going on further to even support our courses. And she's the Director of Product Development at BMC Software. Amazing speakers join us for both our Inspiration and our Bootcamp Week. Okay, so we've chatted a bit about what's in it for your students, but what about you as the local ambassador organizing a Techathon? You get the opportunity to sharpen your organizational leadership and management skills. You're also mentoring, inspiring, and nurturing students into the world of tech and AI, having a hand in paving their path to success. You will network with amazing people throughout the campaign, global professionals, mentors, techathons, and some educators to expand your reach with Teens in AI. You'll also get some professional recognition as well as a certificate to mark your great efforts in organizing a techathon. So you get access to resources. You'll get access to AI, data science, and event management resources, which we will support you with throughout the campaign. What do you need to do as a local ambassador? From your side, it can take some time commitments. We absolutely encourage you to find a co-ambassador who's going to collaborate with you and plan your techathon with you. In addition, you should have 3 to 4 volunteers who will assist you with the planning or specifically on the days of the techathon. And then, of course, you'll have to source your students, mentors, and judges. You can source mentors and judges via your home network, companies in your community, as well as LinkedIn. You'll be surprised how many people are willing to help inspire students on LinkedIn. And then one thing we do ask when you do source your students is ensuring their attendance at both Inspiration Week and Bootcamp Week. You'll also be promoting your event on social media with branding materials and guidelines provided by us. We ask that you check our communication platform regularly, which is Discord, as well as checking your emails. Some of you may have received emails from me already, and you may not have received emails from Favor. But once you have, please make sure to mark us as safe contacts so that our emails don't go straight to your spam. Now, before I go over to the next slide, I just actually want to bring in Favor because I keep talking about her. But you're probably wondering, who is Favor? So, hi everyone, I want you to meet Favor Precious, who is going to be a co-project manager and will be planning and working on and supporting you throughout the IWD campaign. Do you want to say a few words?
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to do this with you for IWD 2025. I look forward to the amazing things we'll do together for this event. My email is always available for your questions and to provide you with solutions.
Thank you so much, Favor. So on to our next slide. As our local ambassadors, one of the core commitments we mentioned is sourcing your students. We encourage you to source students from state schools or private schools. State schools will participate completely for free. However, there is a fee attached for private school students because their contributions play a vital role in making this entire campaign possible. Those fees go to the cost of our platforms, instructors, and the spaces that some of our state and government-run school participants will be utilizing throughout the campaign. Doing this allows us to have, a valuable learning experience for all students involved. We do have scholarship opportunities and learning grants available for students at private schools who cannot attain the private school fee. How would this work when sourcing students? If you get in touch with a school and the school wants to collaborate to host a techathon, you can ask the school to create an invoice and pay directly onto our platform. Or you can tell the students what the fee is and have the parents pay the fee to participate. As you've seen, we have 3 different tiers. We have Africa and South America being £10, Asia £15, and then Australia, North America, UK, Europe being. What's involved in the process of being a local ambassador? Currently, we are on step 2. You have received an information pack or an email from myself or Favor you've started thinking about who your co-ambassador or co-organizer is going to be. And you've submitted your registration form, and we're now at the information session. Thereafter, we'll be sending you the local ambassador agreement. If you haven't already submitted your co-organizer's details, you will add them on this form or via email to myself or Favor, so we can update that internally. The deadline for step 3 is the 30th of November. You will receive the recording of the information session tomorrow once we have, cut it and made it pretty, and we can send it off to you. And that will include that local ambassador agreement. And then actually made an error here, and so the 2nd of December, but it's the week of the 2nd of December. It is the 6th of December, which is when you will have access to the ambassador resources. This includes the playbook, which I'm going to touch on now. The playbook is a short guide on all the essential information you're going to need to host your Techathon, as well as templates to make your outreach easier, information packs, agenda, everything is on your playbook. And it will also be duplicated onto Discord with links to make it easier for you to find. We'll also have pre-recorded videos for the Teens Learning course. Some of our resources already exist in German, French, and Spanish, of course, English as well. These will include the welcome session, which will be on your platform, your playbook, the AI ethics, tech workshops, design thinking workshops, which will be on the Teen Learning course, which we'll also touch on later in the call. We'll provide you with tips and suggestions to help you find your mentors and your judges. As I mentioned earlier, these will also be on your playbook. And the check-ins. I've already explained the structure of how the check-ins will work. We will have Ask Me Anything sessions on Discord, in addition to a pre-recorded video with what the bi-weekly deliverables are. When it comes to marketing your event, we'll provide all the social media kits, the branding guidelines, the logos, you name it. But you will interact with Cindy. Cindy is our digital marketing manager, and whatever marketing ask you have, Cindy will be your go-to. She will also be on Discord, so you're welcome to tag her and she'll assist. As I mentioned earlier, the agenda is generally in a 2-day format. It's 18 hours, but you are welcome to break this up to your needs. So what does this look like? It looks like 2 days can be broken up into 4 or 5 days. We don't encourage anything longer than 5 days, because you start to lose the momentum and the drive of the impact of a Techathon. So I like to keep it to 5 days, just a couple of hours a day, where they'll be either watching the workshops, having the mentoring sessions, building their projects, and then finally, we'll have your Techathon's demo day as well. Discord is our main communication platform. I'm just going to show you last year's server. You'll have your welcome and everything. And then you will have the general information channel, which is where you can chat with us, as well as all the other local ambassadors that are joining from around the world. We'll have the question channel, which is where the Ask Me Anything will take place. There's different channels for different countries. You'll be assigned your own channel for your country. Okay. If you're not familiar with Discord, we have provided some links to get started, as well as the Discord template link. You can replicate our server for your own Techathon if you're hosting virtually. It's also useful if you're hosting in person to keep in contact with your students for nudging, for consent forms. We find that it's a very useful platform to use during these campaigns. We have our local ambassador organizer playbook, which looks like this. It will include various sections. We'll have the introduction. We'll also provide some resources, outreach templates, videos for your briefing sessions with your mentors, with your teams. It's all available in the playbook. This is taking place on one platform. The Local Ambassador Playbook, as well as the Teens Learning course, are on one platform. They'll simply have different links. Closer to the Techathon time in February, we will be hosting a session to run you through the Teens Learning course. So you see what it looks like, how the kids are enrolled, and how you can assist the students at your Techathons. And you as the local ambassador will also receive a link for a view only for local ambassadors. So you can see the different lessons that are on the course for your students. In addition to that, we will also be sharing a master deck with you, as well as a facilitator guide. The master deck is really useful if you're organizing in person. And basically what you would do is you would, as the local ambassador, would have it live on your laptop, and everything that is on the course, such as the videos and the content, will be on the master deck. You simply go to the next slide. If you're at a venue that requires a certain Wi-Fi password, it will all be added onto the master deck as well. The facilitator guide is there to give you some additional tips, on icebreakers, how you can further break up your day, just to make running an event easier. We are at our Q&A, but before I start, I'm going to touch on the next steps. After the call, you will receive an email from us with the recording link, as well as a link to sign your local ambassador agreement, which includes a criminal self-disclosure form. Thereafter, we've received everything. You'll then be able to access the materials, as well as our frequently asked questions, which Favor's also going to share in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this information session. And feel free to send myself any questions you may have prior to us moving to Discord. And thank you to those who weren't able to attend but are watching this recording. And we shall see you soon. Bye, everyone. Good evening or good afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.